Dear students, welcome to the official YouTube channel of Hasmukh Goswami College of Engineering. Myself, Professor Tanmay Kumar Pandit, and I am from Physics Department. Today, in this video lecture, we are going to study about two different types of superconductors which have been classified on basis of their magnetic field effect. Done? So, first of all, we will consider what are the superconductors. The electronic materials whose conductivity is ideally very much high and its corresponding electrical resistivity is comparatively very low, or you can say even zero. Done? So such materials fall into the category of the superconductors. Done? Here, as you have earlier seen in the animations, the superconductors have the characteristic behavior variable on the external applied magnetic field. Done? So, the classification is totally based on the magnetic field. Done? And they have been entitled as type 1 and type 2 superconductors. In this particular video lecture, we are going to study about number 1, their characteristics, number 2, their effect under the influence of the applied magnetic field. Done. Number 3, we will also consider some examples of type 1 and type 2 superconductors, and at last we will observe how these materials behave under the influence of the external applied magnetic field. We will going to consider the superconducting state as well as the normal state. Done? So, as you have seen in the earlier animation, the same schematic has been prepared over here, which is of the well-known Meissner effect. Done? Where a foam container has been placed. Inside that, a superconducting material is placed at the center of it. Liquid nitrogen is also poured and a magnet is placed on the vertical position to the superconductor, and the effect of this particular Meissner effect will be like this. The magnet will maintain the particular distance and the transmission of superconductor can be easily observed. Type 1 superconductors exhibit complete Meissner effect. Okay, as we have seen in the earlier animation, which was on the left hand bottom side, there was a complete Meissner effect was followed, and on the right bottom side, the Meissner effect was partial, which we are going to discuss in the type 2 superconductors. These are perfect diamagnetic. In the previous lectures, we have seen three different types of magnetic materials: paramagnetic materials, ferromagnetic materials, and diamagnetic materials. So, these type 1 superconductors are also considered as diamagnetic materials. This particular superconductors, type 1 superconductors, are also known as soft superconductors. See, these two synonyms, or you can say some another popular names of type 1 and type 2, should be very much clear in your mind. Done? They have only one critical magnetic field. This is the most important characteristic of type 1 superconductors. Why? Because as far as you increase or you just vary the magnetic field, which is the externally applied, so at one particular value of the applied magnetic field, the superconducting state of the examined material will be vanished, and the superconductor will now be termed as a normal material which will have the normal state into it. So you can consider this critical magnetic field as the saturation point of superconducting material. Done? This materials undergoes a sharp transition from the superconducting state to the normal state. That means no external energy or no external magnetic field amount is required to convert this particular superconducting material to the normal material. Normal material means what? Either it would be some conducting material, or it may be insulator, or it could be even a semiconductor. Done. It depends on the behavior of the investigated superconducting material. Done. When this particular sharp transition will be observed, this will be happened when the magnetization will reached at the critical magnetic field, which is denoted by H subscript C. So C subscript has been used to represent the critical term. Done. And H is the symbol of the magnetic field, as we have seen that the capital E is the symbol of electric field. Now here one another question should be arise in your mind, that why we are considering the effect of the magnetic field, because the superconducting materials are the category, are falling under the categories of electronic materials. Done. Electronic materials are classified into four parts: insulators or dielectrics, semiconductors, conductors, and superconductors. Then why we are considering this particular material under the influence of the magnetic field? Done. Because this particular material are exhibiting ideally zero electrical resistivity, and hence the influence of some magnetic parameters should be taken into account to identify or to realize the applications of this particular classified materials into real life applications. Done. Now the highest value of critical magnetic field is just zero point 0.1 Weber. If you place any, remember I repeat, any superconducting material beyond or up to this much critical magnetic field level of 0.1 Weber, done, at this particular magnetic field, your superconducting material will now act as a normal material. So which are these materials? What are some known superconductors which falls into the category of type 1? Or here remember this word, soft superconductors. Done. So the examples are lead, tin, and mercury. These three superconductors are also known as soft superconductors. There is one shortfall, or you can consider as a disadvantage of this particular type 1 superconductors, is the applications are very limited. You cannot utilize up to certain extent to the real life applications with the use of type 1 superconductors. Now here in this particular graphical representation, you can consider that with increase in the external applied magnetic field, the superconductivity is also increased. Done. So up to the value of 0 to Hc, we can consider the magnetization as well as the conductivity is in the linear relationship. Done. But as soon as the magnetization reaches at the level of critical magnetic field, that is nothing but Hc, your superconducting state has a sharp decrease to the normal state. Done. So this is quite interesting when at this particular point, not beyond this. Done. But when my superconducting material will have the influence of zero point 0.1 Weber of external applied magnetic field, then at this point I will have the normal state or the vanishing of the superconducting properties of lead, tin, or mercury. Done. So this was all about type 1 superconductors. Now we will switch on to the another classified term, that is type 2 superconductors. Here in this pictorial representation, you can observe the effect of the external applied magnetic field towards the type 2 superconductors. And remember, here there is a partial Meissner effect. Why there is a partial Meissner effect? Because as soon as your any material, I am not talking about this particular superconductor, you are considering any electronic material, then under the influence of the applied magnetic field beyond the critical value, all these magnetic field lines should avoid the contact with the investigated material. That means here in this case type 2 superconductors, and that's why, since this type of superconductors are not exhibiting the Meissner effect at certain level, these materials are not considered as perfect diamagnet. Done. So either this particular type 2 superconductors will be fall into the category of paramagnetic or ferromagnetic, but one thing is clear, they are not perfect diamagnetic. These are known as hard superconductors. Here, the distinguishment is quite easy. Once you have recalled all the points of type 1 superconductors, the type 2 superconductors, it is very much easy for you because the opposite terms you have to mention in each and every point. Done? They have two critical magnetic fields. Recall, for type 1 superconductor, it has only one critical magnetic field. But here, type 2 superconductors have two critical magnetic field, and they have been termed as Hc1 and Hc2. These materials undergoes a gradual transition. In the type 1 superconductor, there was a sharp transition. When it has crossed the Hc value, a sharp fall has been observed as a straight line, a vertical line in the previous graphical representation. These materials undergoes a gradual transition from the superconducting state to the normal state, and here in between the superconducting and normal state there is an additional state which is known as a vertex state. What? I repeat again, a vertex state, which we are going to observe in the next slide. And between the two critical magnetic fields, that means between Hc1 and Hc2, the upper critical magnetic field, that means Hc2 value, can be of the order of 50 Weber. So remember, how much is the difference between the critical magnetic fields of type 1 and type 2 superconductors. In type 1 superconductors, we have the value of 0.1 Weber only, and here in the upper critical magnetic field for type 2 superconductor we have 50 Weber. Done. So it is quite 5000 times to that of type 1, and that's why this could be the only reason why type 2 superconductors are known as the hard superconductors, and type 1 superconductors are also known as soft superconductors. Then moreover, they are used to generate very high magnetic field. The most superior advantage of type 2 superconductors are to generate very high amount of magnetization from the superconducting materials. The examples are mostly inclusive of alloys like niobium tin, niobium titanium, and niobium strontium. So this is the mixture of two different alloys like niobium with different alloys like tin, titanium, and strontium, which falls into the category of type 2 superconductors. Again, if we look at the graphical representation of conductivity and the magnetic field, which is the externally applied magnetic field, up to the lower critical magnetic field, that is the Hc1, our material, the investigating material, is act as a superconducting material. So this particular area is your superconducting state. Now here the dashed lines represents the behavior of the ideal behavior of type 1 superconductors. However, this sharp decrease has not been observed in type 2 superconductors, and that's why a gradual decrease which we can observe throughout the increase in the applied magnetic field for the conductivity. Then the decrement in the conductivity between Hc1 and Hc2 is known as the vertex state. As I mentioned earlier, that was your vertex state. But how the superconducting material will turn into the normal material? So here, beyond the upper critical field, the superconducting, the type 2 superconducting material will now act as a normal material. Done? So, three particular states in type 2 superconductors: superconducting state, vertex state, and normal state. This HC is for the example or comparative analysis of type 1 and type 2. So remember, अगर हम टाइप 2 सुपर कंडक्टर्स की बात कर रहे हैं तो टाइप 2 का जो सुपर कंडक्टिंग स्टेट जो है ना, वो टाइप 1 के मतलब कि 0.1 वेबर हमें यहाँ पे मिल रहा था, तो वो उससे भी पहले सुपर कंडक्टिंग बिहेवियर अपना खो देता है। डन। लेकिन वो अगर सुपर कंडक्टिंग बिहेवियर लो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड पे भी डिस्क्लोज कर देता है, लेकिन उसका हमें आगे जाके क्या एडवांटेज मिला? ग्रेजुअल डिक्रीज मिला। और वो ग्रेजुअल डिक्रीज की वजह से हम हाई मैग्नेटिक फील्ड प्रॉपर्टीज को अचीव कर पाए हैं। डन। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ा एडवांटेज रहता है। आपको ये चीज़ भी ऑब्जर्व करनी है, इसीलिए यहाँ पे कंपेरेटिव एनालिसिस दिखाया गया है। ये जो डैश लाइन है वो टाइप 1 को रिप्रेजेंट करती है, और ये जो स्ट्रेट लाइन है वो टाइप 2 सुपर कंडक्टर्स को रिप्रेजेंट करती है। डन। Hc1 is the lower critical field for type 2 superconductors. This Hc is the critical magnetic field for type 1 superconductor, and Hc2 is the upper critical magnetic field for type 2 superconductor again. And beyond that you are going to observe about the normal state. तो आज क्या सीखा हमने कि टाइप 1 सुपरकंडक्टर क्या है, टाइप 2 सुपरकंडक्टर क्या है, दोनों के ऊपर मैग्नेटिक फील्ड की कैसे इफेक्ट होती है। हाँ, उसके हमने एग्जाम्पल्स भी देखे। उसको हार्ड सुपरकंडक्टर या सॉफ्ट सुपरकंडक्टर्स क्यों कहा जाता है वो भी हमने देखा। तो एक चीज़ आप याद रखना, पिछले कई साल के जीटीयू के पेपर्स आप रिफ़र कर लेना, सब में डिस्टिंग्विश बिटवीन टाइप 1 एंड टाइप 2 सुपरकंडक्टर्स, और ऐसे भी पूछते हैं गिव द डिफरेंसेस बिटवीन सॉफ्ट एंड हार्ड सुपरकंडक्टर्स। तो आपको क्या करना है, जो भी मैंने पॉइंट्स यहाँ पे बहुत ही इजी तरीके से आपको एक्सप्लेन किए हैं, और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा आप उसको अच्छी तरीके से याद भी रख पाओ, ऐसे समझाने का मैंने ट्राई किया है। तो ये आप क्वेश्चन को मोस्ट आईएमपी मार्क कर सकते हो। डन। हर साल जीटीयू की एग्ज़ाम में सुपर कंडक्टर्स के ऊपर ये क्वेश्चन तो पूछा ही जाता है, आइदर इन 4 मार्क्स और इन 7 मार्क्स। डन। सो इसी के साथ हमारा टाइप 1 टाइप 2 सुपर कंडक्टर्स के ऊपर का डिस्कशन यहाँ पे फिनिश होता है, और आगे जाके हम देखेंगे कि इसका यूटिलाइजेशन अलग अलग एप्लीकेशंस में कैसे हुआ है। डन। सो आई होप कि आज का ये लेक्चर आपको पसंद आया होगा। तो प्लीज़ आप इसको लाइक कीजिए, आपके कलीग्स के साथ उसको शेयर कीजिए, और हमारे ऑफिशियल यूट्यूब चैनल हसमुख गोस्वामी कॉलेज ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए। आप हमारे सोशल मीडिया हैंडल्स को भी फॉलो कर सकते हैं, जिससे हमारे कॉलेज में होने वाली अपडेट्स के साथ आप नोटिफाई रहेंगे। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर विजिटिंग दिस वीडियो लेक्चर।